The saddest night of my life for sure was the night before I went to jail. I had to tell the kids. It wasn't like the movie, they took me away, I reported for jail, right? And my wife and I, my ex-wife, we sat down with the kids on it was a Thursday night, and we called the kids into the living room. They're like, what's up, what's up? And I started telling my kids, I said, listen, a long time ago, that when I had that big company and I made some mistakes, and I didn't get even, as soon as I started getting even close to it, my daughter starts bursting out, hysterically crying, and my son was very young then. She just starts crying because my daughter's crying, and it's this terrible, like this just gut-wrenching scene where my daughter's like, no, she's all about loud, and the kids are hugging me, and we're just like, just the worst thing you can imagine. Tell your kids that daddy made a mistake, now he's got to go away, And, I was guilty. I couldn't say I was trapped with this. I did it. I made a mistake. I took some great skills that I made the mistakes, and I deserved to be there. I had no one to blame but myself. I made the mistakes, and it's very difficult when you have to come to terms with that, right? And I think when people watch the movie The Wolf of Wall Street, it's important that they look at that movie and say, you know what? I get it. It's glamorous and it's fun. Because I'm not going to deny that it was fun. It was glamorous, yeah. But there's something called balance in there, that when you are that character, that never ends well. It just never ends well. And one question that I get asked all the time, how was I able to stay positive and motivated in what was certainly the worst time of my life? I lost all my money, I lost my freedom, I lost my children for a time, my wife bottomed out, right? And I said, I think about it, I said, here's the secret. When I was in jail, in those moments, and the worst moments of all were at nighttime, when you're in your bunk and people are asleep and you're alone with your thoughts and you could just really get negative. And the answer is that in bed, when I was alone with my thoughts, I would close my eyes and I would visualize the faces of my two children. And I would close my eyes, I'd see their faces, I knew I would let them down so badly, caused them so much pain, and I said, there's nothing I won't do. There's no length I won't go to prove to these kids that their dad can do it right, that their dad's gonna come back even better than before. And it was all about proving to my children that you could come back from failure, that you could make the world right, and I could be an example, make them proud of me. That was my why. It was all about my kids. And that's the secret. Your why, it's never about you. People will do crazy things for causes they believe in, but for yourself, you only go so far. My kid's in trouble, I'll run through a wall of fire, I wouldn't think twice about it. My wife now, who's my inspiration, like one of the things that she said to me was so funny, is when we first met, wow, she says, I have never met someone that is so fearless. Like you have all this stuff and you're just plowing forward, you're fearless. I said, sweetheart, I said, I'm scared shit. You're just not letting it stop me. I am scared. And that's what courage is all about. I let my fear plow me forward, push me forward. And that's something you have to reframe in your life. It's really a reframe about what fear is, what pain really is. Pain is the greatest motivating force in the world. But if you're gonna go into denial and become numb yourself to the pain, you're gonna live a smaller and smaller life until one day when you're old in bed, ready to die, you'll look back at all the things that you could have done, you should have done, you would have done, and you didn't do because you thought, well, you know what, I'm okay. I'm doing decent, that's not so terrible, there's people worse. You know what, fuck that. Don't live that life. Don't be the person that looks back and has regret and didn't take action to get what they truly wanted in life. When you're not feeling massive pain, human beings tend to just sort of, well, I'll stay pat. Don't do that. Take the pain, take the bitter pill, because you know what? That bitter pill will end up being sweet. And if you're living that life, you're 25, 28 years old, or 22, whatever how old you are, 40 years old, right? And you're in this sort of dead-end job, it's not what you want to do. Don't think for a split second that this is your lot in life, that you have to stay on this road. At any moment in time, you can make a decision. You can get off that road and start going down a completely different road. And you know what? Yeah, there'll be some pain, there'll be some lack in your life. And you know what? That's what will drive you to greatness. It starts by having the vision for the future, to really see your life better than it is right now. And that was my secret. And that is going to be your secret too. When you find that why, once you have that power, then you will definitely achieve your vision, no matter what. It might not happen overnight, but it will happen. I promise you.